Hello. I'm going live here on YouTube, and I am also recording my daily horoscopes for the week ahead. And I thought I do this every week, and why not just go live on YouTube and give people a little preview into the energy that's coming for the week ahead if they would like it. And you can kind of see behind the scenes as I do this overview. So, what my podcasting recording process is like for Daily Horoscope for Your Zodiac Sign with Stephanie Campos. I have a two computer screen setup, so you're going to see me looking over there. But yeah, thanks for being here. If you're interested in kind of getting a little preview um, into the astrology of next week. And you also want to see like what's the behind the scenes situation of how I run my daily podcast, which is quite a venture, but something that I love and adore. Welcome. Okay. So let's give this a try. Around 8:30 a.m., Mars in Libra is forming an opposition with Chiron in Aries. Now, this is taking place at 26 degrees. And yes, this is our second Chiron aspect for the week ahead. So, Mars is a planet of action, anger, frustration, motivation. Chiron, again, is that wounded healer in astrology. And they're forming an opposition, which, to be honest, is one of the harshest aspects that you can experience in the sky. So, this is a tension point. This is that might feel like a moment of crisis, especially regarding your core wounding and your triggers. Someone else's actions could be incredibly painful around this time. Maybe you trigger or push someone else's buttons at this time as well. I would say collectively, this is going to be a pain point as well. There might be some serious news that kicks off. It would not surprise me if there is something heartbreaking that is unfolding in the collective. Listen, that is a daily occurrence near and far. Here in the United States, across the world, we have multiple genocides unfolding, and this is one of those aspects that is really going to kind of reach deep into your heart and kind of pull it out of your chest. However, we experience Mars opposite Chiron multiple times in our lives. We experience it about once every 2 years. And just know that if you are feeling a little bit more tender on this day, that's for a reason and it's okay. Be gentle with yourself and others, and this could be seen as an opportunity to take action for what's causing you pain or to stand up for others in the collective and asserting yourself and doing something, taking that action can prompt healing or even a change in the way that you have historically interacted with this personal pain or wounding, or even how you show up collectively as well. Now, these planets are coming through in I'm going to pause there and re-record that if you're tuning in. Let me just make sure it's recording. Collectively. Nice. Okay, awesome. This is fun. Now, these planetary bodies are coming through in the signs of Aries and Libra, which have to do with our relationship dynamics. So, relationship woundings and patterns could certainly be highlighted around this time. Now, the good news is around 12 p.m., we have the moon in Cancer forming a sextile to the sun in Virgo. This is so supportive. This means our inner world, the moon, our outer self, the sun, they're meeting in a gentle connection. It can feel like there is progress available, there's support available, especially there's this extra synergy between the Cancer and the Virgo sections of your birth chart. You are experiencing flow in these two areas of your life, and the topics that are associated with these houses in your chart are kind of merging together in a supportive way. Now, enjoy it while it lasts because around 4 p.m., we have the moon in Cancer forming a square with Mars in Libra. Again, this is going to kick up that tension, especially in your relationships regarding chosen family, your sense of safety and security, your beliefs, maybe the ways in which you haven't asserted yourself that can kind of kick up again around this time. And because the moon is traveling between cardinal signs, we have Libra as a cardinal sign, Aries is a cardinal sign. It's going to make that Mars Chiron opposition just a little bit more prominent. So, this could be a pain point or a moment where you are also kind of really noticing those themes in your personal and the collective Mars Chiron story. Now, around 6 p.m., the moon in Cancer will form a sextile with Mercury in Virgo. This is great for communication, for smoothing things over, for breaking a cycle of overthinking, for calming yourself down, for grounding into the physical world, into your body. This could be a moment of making an important decision, having an intuitive download, or feeling just really grounded in the conversations you're having or the decisions that you're making. Now, around 8 p.m., the moon in Cancer will form a trine with Saturn in Pisces. This is lovely water energy. This is also very grounding. Saturn is practical. It can help you focus on some of the more like tedious tasks or things that you need to get done. It's also a great time to turn to guidance, support, or advice from people who you respect or admire or mentors, or to connect with your ancestors, your wise and well spirits and guides through a meditation practice or some sort of ancestral magic or practice that stems from your lineage. And finally, around 10 p.m., the moon will enter Leo. Alrighty. So that was for September 16th, Tuesday, September 16th. I had already started recording the weekly horoscope before I had this impromptu decision to go live on YouTube. So I'm saving the opening track and now I'm going to start recording for Wednesday, September 17th, the main aspects for us to cover. Each of my daily horoscopes on my podcast have an astrology overview. So I go through all of the aspects so you know like what's the backdrop of the day. Yes, you get a personal horoscope for your zodiac sign, your rising sign, your moon sign. Some people like to listen to all three. Some just like the rising sign. Some just do the sun sign. But of course, you get the personalized horoscope, but it's super helpful, I think, to know like what's the weather, what's the forecast, what else is going on in the backdrop of the day. So that's why I do this. Okay, we are getting into Wednesday. Let's start recording. This is your daily horoscope for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. The action starts out around 12 a.m. when the moon in Leo forms a trine with Neptune in Aries. This is a gentle, supportive, and compassionate connection. When the moon and Neptune come together in a trine aspect, it really heightens our intuition. And not in like a stressful way, but in a supportive way. So, this could be a great time to do divination work. Yes, it's in the middle of the night, but if you are looking for some sort of magic to unfold, it can require sacrifice, right? Like waking up in the middle of the night. It can be just a moment where you're having really solid sleep. Maybe you haven't been sleeping well and you need to catch up on sleep. This could be a moment where you are also having a compassionate conversation with someone else. You are feeling supported or vulnerable, or even like a relationship is deepening in some way. Now, around 1 a.m., the moon in Leo will form a sextile with Uranus in Gemini. And this energy is a little more exciting. It can bring surprises, it can bring change of plans. It is happening, at least on the West Coast, in the middle of the night. Sometimes when there's a strong Uranus aspect, I would say it could be really hard to sleep. Like you wake up, you have some insomnia, or you had some sort of like profound dream or visitation, and you're like, oh my gosh, like you're riding a high. It's like hard to fall asleep again. However, this is a gentle connection and it's a little bit more subtle. So I would say, if anything, maybe you just have some sort of sign, symbol, or synchronicity that shows up in your dreams. Now, if you are in part of the world where you're awake during this time, this could be a welcome surprise, or it could even be that like push you've been looking for to take a risk, make a change, or try something new, and not feeling this hesitation or resistance to making that change. Now, also around 1 a.m., the moon in Leo will form an opposition with Pluto in Aquarius. And Pluto is a planet of power, control, jealousy, depth, and transformation. And when we have the moon opposite Pluto, it really kicks up this tendency to fixate on the past or the future. But it's freaking hard to sit in the present moment with your feelings. And Pluto wants us to surrender. So, this is really an opportunity to pay attention to what's coming up for you, the feelings, the thoughts that you tend to avoid or hide from, the taboo topics that other people would rather pretend don't exist or don't deserve attention. This is a moment to acquaint yourself with your shadow side, and it can be incredibly healing and cathartic and even empowering. It's an opportunity to choose differently on your own healing journey and get in touch with the parts of yourself that oftentimes we tend to ignore or reject. Okay. And finally, around 11 a.m., Mercury in Virgo is going to form an opposition with Saturn in Pisces. This is taking place at 28 degrees. So if you have any planets or placements around 28 degrees, especially of the mutable signs, that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you're the main characters. This is energy we're going to be feeling throughout the entire day. Okay, I see a couple of you are here. I just paused recording my podcast for a second because TBH, I talk, and then I'm like, oh my God, I am parched. I need some water. So sometimes that's oftentimes, every time actually, that's how I record my podcast. I yap and then I stop and have some water. Um, and like take a breath. Okay, but let's get back into Mercury opposite Saturn. I am talking about the astrology of Wednesday, September 17th. Okay. So you're getting a little preview of what's to come. I saw someone else just joined. We're talking about Wednesday, September 17th. And okay, let's finish. We're talking about Mercury opposite Saturn. So, when Mercury, which is the planet of the mind and communication, is opposite Saturn in Pisces, Saturn is this planet of limitation and restriction and commitment, dedication, and also challenges. So, this can have an impact on us mentally. Sometimes we're feeling a little bit more depressed. Sometimes we learn disappointing news. We hear a no when we are hoping for a yes. Perhaps a contract ends. Maybe we are making a commitment. Maybe we are making a sacrifice. This could also be a moment where we're dealing with consequences of our actions. And for some, that could look like gaining attention or recognition for their hard work and consistency. For others, if they haven't really been, acting in alignment with their best version of themselves, this could be like a little reality check as well. Now, interesting because we're going to be having a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo at 29 degrees on September 21st. So that means that this Mercury opposite Saturn is almost a preview of that upcoming eclipse. So I want you to just put a pin in that today and think about what topics and themes capture your attention today because they are bound to resurface on the 21st. Whew. All right. Let's save that episode and then we'll get into recording our next episode, which is we will be talking about Thursday, September 18th. How are all of you doing with the eclipses? You love my nails? Oh, I just noticed that there's a chat function. Thanks. They're press-ons. My thumb came off today, but I'm going to fix it after I record this. They're press-ons. They're called Glamnetic. Have you heard of it? Instagram got me. They know I love shiny things. And I couldn't resist. I had to get them. But I feel like a completely different person with the nails on. And I'm obsessed with them and I love them. And I'm shocked like how much I'm able to still do. I thought I was going to be down bad, but I'm still able to get around with these nails. So, but yeah, how are all of you doing with the eclipse? I've been dealing with killer migraines. And it's kind of sucked, to be honest. Chrome nail polish. Oh yeah. Not worth the risk if it could cause cancer on the bottle, if it says that. Glamnetic. Get these. They're fabulous. They're amazing. I can't 10 out of 10. And I think they're safe. They seem to be safe. Okay, everybody. But yeah, let me know how you're doing with the eclipse or if you have any eclipse questions. I'd love to like answer them and talk to you about it. And let's record Thursday, September 18th. Okay. We are recording episodes for my podcast right now if you are tuning in. This is a behind the scenes look. This is your daily horoscope for Thursday, September 18th, 2025. The action starts out around 3 a.m. when Mercury enters Libra. Mercury is the planet of communication, information. It is our mind. It is our opinions, our interests, but also how we listen. And when Mercury moves through the sign of Libra, which is represented by the scales, it is all about balance, seeking justice. It is an air sign, it is a social sign. And Libra's natural ruling planet is Venus. So naturally, we are also more concerned with our relationships. So when Mercury moves through the sign of Libra, this can also be a period of time where we are feeling more indecisive. It's difficult for us to make decisions. We're making pro and con lists. We are playing devil's advocate. We are feeling uncertain about, or maybe we just want to take more time to really weigh our options before making decisions. This is also a time that is so incredibly powerful for focusing on our relationship with justice and what is right and seeking peace in the collective. And so you may feel called to get more involved in your community in the fight for collective liberation. Let me record that. I am a Virgo moon after all. Community in the fight for collective liberation. And this is also going to be a time where you're focused on relationships. So if there are ways in which you don't advocate for yourself, this could be an invitation to be more assertive, to stand up for your desires, your needs. If there are conflicts that you've been avoiding in your relationships, Maybe they bubble up to the surface, and it's an invitation to kind of confront some of that as well. Now, around 3 p.m., Mercury in Libra will immediately form an opposition with Neptune in Aries. This has never happened in our lifetimes. And that's because Neptune entered Aries for the first time at the end of March of this year, for the first time since 1861, right? So it's been a while. So when Mercury forms an opposition to Neptune, first of all, this is happening at 0 degrees. In astrology, anytime a planet in a cardinal sign is having some sort of important moment at 0 degrees, it is called a critical point. So that means collectively we're like ding, ding, ding. This is going to bring up some sort of important moment in the collective. Definitely pay attention to the news around this time. Mercury, again, is our communication planet. Neptune is a planet of fog, compassion, but also delusion. And it can also bring up martyrdom and spirituality. Okay, I'm pausing. I have this is TMI, but whatever. I have a deviated septum, so I can only breathe out of one nostril, and so I mouth breathe when I record my horoscopes, and then I get out of breath, and then my mouth needs water. And so that's what you're seeing right here. This is also fun. It's behind the scenes. You get to see what really happens. Um wow, people are here. I don't know how to see who's here, but that would be cool if I could do that. But I have a chat. Does anyone want to chat with me? Let me know. Ask me an astrology question. Ask me something about your chart. Okay, we got to get back into Mercury opposite Neptune. It's a doozy. Okay. What was it? What was the last thing I recorded? I don't remember. Martyrdom and spirituality. Got it. Hey, thanks for saying hi. Making me feel like I'm not alone. Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing? What's your big three? If you feel comfortable, I'd love to hear. Sun, moon, or rising. Okay. When Mercury is opposite Neptune, this can also kick up kind of like a mini Mercury retrograde vibe. Neptune brings confusion and fog. And this is not the best day to make important life decisions if you can avoid it. If you can't, that's okay. You have to live. But if you can kind of just recognize that there is more of a tendency to give into our projections, our insecurities, our assumptions. We're not seeing the picture fully clear now. It's possible for more misunderstandings to take place. It's possible that you show up late or miss a meeting, something like that. So just triple check your calendar, triple check who you're texting or emailing before you hit send, that kind of thing. Now, what's also interesting, the same day, around 10 p.m., we have Mercury in Libra forming a trine with Uranus in Gemini. This is at 1 degree. And then we have Mercury in Libra forming a trine with Pluto in Aquarius at 11:30 p.m., also at 1 degree. And Uranus is this planet of innovation, revolution, and insight and change. And Pluto is a planet of transformation and power. So, in general, it's very interesting because this is also going to foreshadow September 22nd, which is when the sun is going to trace over Mercury's steps and bring us back to this day. So, really also put a pin in this day. Think about themes and topics that are coming up for you because this is just the first chapter and part of that story. But I will say, when Mercury and Uranus form a gentle trine together, this is a great time, especially with Pluto involved as well, This is a powerful moment to change your perspective, to shift your limiting beliefs, to change the way you speak to yourself, to use your mind, the power of visualization to co create the world we deserve and we know is possible. This can be a great time for friendships, connection, building community, and for having meaningful interactions with other people. You could learn some sort of news that feels unexpected or transformative. You could have a conversation that also feels very empowering and very healing. Okay. So there's Thursday, September 18th. For everyone who's here, oh, Miriam, thank you for sharing. Hold on. I'm going to get into your big three. I'm so curious. I was just going to say, I am launching a witch school. Okay. It is an 8-week course where it helps you to build your psychic gifts, connect with your intuition, and we'll be learning astrological magic, planetary magic, glamour magic, how to connect with your ancestors, how to connect with your spirits, your spirit team. And we'll be doing lectures and practical exercises. There are 2 more slots available. If you go to my website is linked on my YouTube, or I could put it in the chat. There's 2 more slots available. So I hope to see you there. Class starts in October. Um, and I'm really excited. We're also going to learn about tarot. But it's 8 weeks of basically just like magic, learning magic. And we're also, because I care so much about collective liberation, we're going to learn about how to funnel your own magic, your spell work, and your energy to create change in the collective. Because I think that's so important because we all are interconnected. Okay, we did September 18th. Next up, we're doing Friday, September 19th. Okay. But first, Miriam, Aries rising, Cancer sun, and Pisces moon. Holy macaroni. Oh my gosh. Um, okay, so we just had this lunar eclipse on your moon in your 12th house. Did you have trouble sleeping? Was there some sort of habit or pattern in your daily life that shifted in a big way? Um, that's also a place of release and letting go, ending cycles. I could see like big family stuff coming up around that time, chosen family, living situation, all of the above shifts regarding that. Yeah, what kind of pops up for you during the eclipse? I'm curious. I'm very curious. If you feel comfortable sharing, no pressure. Okay. And anyone else who's here, please drop your big three, your sun, moon, and rising, and let's chat about the eclipse because, oh my God, it was a biggie. All right. All right. We're doing Friday, September 19th. Here we go. This is your daily horoscope for Friday, September 19th, 2025. The action starts out around 1:30 a.m. when the moon in Leo forms a sextile with Mars in Libra. This energy is great for being productive. It is simply energizing in general. It is passionate. It's great for flirting, for sexting, for sex. It's great for taking an idea and putting it into action, having the courage to take a risk or do something differently. And if you are sleeping during this time, you could be having a busy or active dream life. Like maybe you're popping around from dimension to dimension, or maybe you are in some sort of like action sequence in your dream. Around 5:30 a.m., the moon in Leo will form a conjunction with Venus in Leo. This is adorable. Venus is our relationship planet. It is our values. It's our creativity. It's our hobbies, like what we enjoy and what we desire. And the moon is our inner world, what makes us feel safe, seen, and cared for. So when the moon meets with Venus, it could be a sweet interaction with someone else. It could also be a moment where you learn lucky news or you're feeling supportive, or like maybe you have a conversation that feels affirming and it boosts your own confidence. Maybe you're doing something Venusian. Maybe you are changing up your style or wearing a bold outfit, or doing your makeup in a fun way. This is a very great time to play. Leo is all about connecting with our inner child and our inner teen. And yeah, this energy is just a moment, like a sweet little pocket of joy and for feeling grateful. And it can also bring more attention to your relationships as well. Now, around 5:30 a.m., the moon enters Virgo. And also at 5:30 a.m. ish, Venus enters Virgo. We need to talk about Venus in Virgo. And I have a Venus in Virgo, so just take that with a grain of salt. Venus is said to be in fall in Virgo, which means that it can struggle a little bit. Venus is this planet of our pleasures, our desires. It connects us with our physical body. And in Virgo, Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury. So it's more mental, right? Virgo is known for overthinking, for planning, for and that kind of takes us out of the body, right? It's harder to connect and just relax and take a moment off, right? Virgo is that busybody energy. Virgo is also known for being critical. So sometimes when Venus moves through the sign of Virgo, it can bring up more criticism, self criticism. Maybe you are being more critical of others. Our love language shifts to the small, tiny acts of service. And that's like someone remembering your favorite candy bar and they thought of you. And so they just brought it home randomly, or coming home to a clean dishwasher. Yes, that is a stereotype. But as a Venus in Virgo, I'm saying it is a very, very true. Um, I would also say that when Venus moves through the sign of Virgo, it's also an earth sign. So this is a great time to get grounded, to focus on your relationship with the body. And Virgo is one of the most magical and witchy zodiac signs. And it really is all about alchemy. Whoop, let me record that. Let me look at the chat real quick. Okay. Audrey, okay, you shared your 3. After I record this episode, I'll take a look at your 3. And Audrey, you enjoyed the eclipse. You smoked all day. It was pretty good. Wow. Jelly, peanut butter and jealous. That sounds divine and relaxing. Miriam, you had a realization about your home and your personal life, putting more effort into moving out and having a constant routine for self-care. Oh my God, is that not what I said? That is like so bang on for the eclipse. And I love that. I hope that that has brought you like more peace and clarity. And that is so spot on for your big 3, like how that eclipse will show up for you. So I love to hear that. Let me have some water. All right. What did I just say? I forgot. Let me listen real quick. Zodiac signs. And it really is all about alchemy. Oh. Okay, here we go. So Virgo energy is really great at alchemizing, and especially when it comes to small daily habits and behaviors. Virgo knows that the most effective magic isn't going to be this elaborate ritual that you buy like 15 different items for and you clean your whole house for. It knows that there is magic available to us all the time, everywhere, in every action. And washing your dishes can be magical, cooking your breakfast can be magical, going to the bathroom can be magical. There are so many ways to tap into the magic that's available to us. And so this could be an invitation to change some of your habits, your patterns, your behaviors, and to really remember how small, tiny actions, yes, can create more magic and manifestation in your life, but they're also going to bring you closer to your goals and your dreams and your desires. Because when you start embodying those changes that your future self, when you think of like, hey, I want X, and you think that version of myself in the future keeps these habits, and when you start to make the changes on a small scale, but a consistent scale to embody those habits, that's when you see the most progress and magic show up in your life. And that is a huge Venus in Virgo hack. You're welcome. Okay. And finally, around 8 a.m., the moon in Virgo will form a square with Uranus and Gemini. This is going to bring some sort of sudden surprise, a change of plans, and something different to your day. So maybe plans get canceled last minute. Maybe you wake up early. Maybe you wake up feeling energized. It could be a sudden, shocking news or information that arrives, and it could also just be a burst of energy. Like maybe you wake up and you're just ready to get going. All right. We're saving this episode. That was for Friday, September 19th. Save. And then we're going to do Saturday, September 20th. Next, I'm going to look at Audrey's big three before we dive in. Talk a little bit about your eclipse experience. Okay, let's see. Audrey, Taurus rising. Oh my gosh. Leo sun. Ooh, Sagittarius moon. Um, Also curious, Audrey, if you can share, what is your Venus? What Venus sign do you have? Because that will be your chart ruler since you're a Taurus rising. Okay, so Taurus rising, this eclipse would have been in your 11th house. Virgo. Oh my gosh. We're twins. We're twinning. Okay, how cute. You must be, are you creative? Did you do drama in high school or middle school? Do you do art? Do you work with children? Tell me. With your Venus and Virgo in the fifth house, something like that has to resonate. There's got to be creativity, self-expression bursting from within. Um, okay, so this eclipse would have been taking place in your 11th house of friendships, community, and long-term goals and dreams. So there could have been major shifts, fated endings and beginnings in your friendships. And there could have also been important developments like sources of support, opportunities pop up regarding some of your long-term dreams. Maybe you were making progress, or perhaps you recognized like a certain dream that you were focused on for quite some time. You're like, this isn't it anymore. And I'm actually feeling called to move in a different direction. I don't know. You tell me. How did that kind of play out for you? Did any of those themes, was there a there could have been drama in friendship or romance as well, or like fated developments, like maybe you're like finally updating your dating profile and giving it a chance and putting yourself out there, something like that. I don't know. Also a great time to like get on social media and share your gifts and talents with the world. People are curious about what you have to offer and your unique gifts and talents. Okay, for everyone who is joining now, if you drop your sun, moon, or rising in the chat, I'm just talking about the eclipse and like how that might have unfolded for you and what was going on. And we are chatting with Audrey about your eclipse experience. So, okay, now we are recording. We got 2 left to go. Okay, we're doing Saturday, September 20th. First, actually, you know what I need to look up is when did the sun square Uranus? Because that is going to be relevant to the next recording. And that happened a couple weeks ago. I couldn't sleep when it happened. No surprise, because I have prominent Virgo placements. Okay, it was August 24th. Okay, perfect. Let's get into it. This is your daily horoscope for Saturday, September 20th, 2025. The action starts out around 8:30 a.m. when Venus in Virgo forms a square with Uranus in Gemini. Now, this is taking place at 1 degree. So, if you have any planets or placements around 1 degrees, especially of the mutable signs, that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you're going to feel the effects of this the most intensely. Now, this is going to bring us back to August 24th when the sun formed a square with Uranus. Now we have Venus tracing over the steps. So, Venus is a planet of relationships, values, and connection. So, this can bring sudden shakeups in. Oops, I burped. Excuse me. I'm going to have to record that. So, this can bring sudden shifts. Audrey. Okay. What about with your friendships or um, relationships? Was there any development or something regarding like a long term goal or dream, something like that for the eclipse? Nothing. Okay. Well, eclipses take about normal full moons have like a 1 month window, and eclipses have 6 month windows. So could just need a little bit more time. We're only like less than 24 hours away from the eclipse. So it's very possible it's still unfolding for you. But it sounds like you had like a relaxing day. And the fifth house, which is where part of this eclipse happened for you, is the house of pleasure. So if you just felt, you know, good and present and connected to your body in that way, I love that for you. All right. What was I saying before I burped? Let's see. Values and connection. So this can bring sudden change. Oh, yeah. Relationships. Okay. Do. The steps. Hold on. Venus tracing over the steps. Okay. I have mom brain, which is a real thing. I didn't think it was real until I had my baby. And now my brain is like mush a lot of the time. And I'm like, what am I talking about? What was I doing? So here we are. Okay. Venus is the planet of relationships, connection, and Uranus is the planet of sudden events. So, this can bring disruptions in your relationships. It can also have you interacting, running into random people. It can bring sudden breakups. It can also bring like people together, but in a very impulsive way, and it doesn't have the most long lasting effects. There is this like flash in a pan energy when Venus crashes into Uranus. It can make people a little bit more reactive, eccentric, or even have like destabilizing interactions in your relationships. There's more of a desire for autonomy and independence as well. So if you do have a particular connection in your life where you're feeling stuck or stagnant, this can be a moment where you're ready to take a risk in a relationship, to ask for more space, or to even shake things up and experiment and try something new. Now, around 9:30 p.m., the moon in Virgo will form a sextile with Jupiter in Cancer. And this is a moment of support. Jupiter is a planet of growth, expansion, and the moon is your inner world. And so I would see this as lovely energy to have to the backdrop of the day, considering that Venus is forming a square with Uranus and considering the aspect that I'm about to get into. So, in general, this can help you get grounded. It can help you feel grateful for the people, the things in your life that are going well. Now, another energy that is so important to note that we are going to be feeling throughout the majority of the day, the Sun in Virgo will form an opposition with Saturn in Pisces. And this is taking place at 28 degrees. And it's happening around 11 p.m., but we're going to be feeling it the whole day. And it is also going to bring us back to when Mercury formed an opposition with Saturn, which was on Wednesday, September 17th. So similar themes and topics are also re emerging around this time as well. This is also giving us a preview to the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo that is taking place tomorrow. So similar themes and topics are carrying over as well. Now, the sun is the planet of recognition, of your vitality, of your soul's essence and journey in this life. Saturn is a planet of restriction, limitation, challenges, and even consequences and dedication and commitment. So sometimes when the sun is opposite Saturn, it can be a moment of receiving recognition for your hard work, your efforts. It can also look like having to make a serious decision, setting a boundary, having an uncomfortable conversation, hearing a no when you were hoping for a yes. It just brings a little bit more of a somber energy to the day and a need to lead with your mature and practical side as well. Whoa, I'm about to burp as well. Thank goodness we got that. Whew, whew. We got that just in time. All right, we're saving the episode for September 25th. Whoops, September 20th. Have a good evening, Audrey. Bye-bye. Okay. And we've got one final one to record. Sunday, September 21st. That's the eclipse. That's the BFD. It's the biggie. How's everyone else doing? Anyone else want to chat about their eclipse experience? And we're in the middle of eclipse season. So we had our first eclipse yesterday, and the next one that's going to bookend it is September 21st. We're going to talk about it right meow. All right. This is your daily horoscope for Sunday, September 21st, 2025. Around 11:30 a.m., the moon in Virgo forms an opposition with Saturn in Pisces. This means that it is reactivating the Sun Saturn opposition, the Mercury Saturn opposition that we felt on the 17th. Similar themes and topics are popping up again. The moon is the closest celestial body to Earth. And so when it connects with the planets that are further away, it brings their themes, their topics, their energy down to us in a more pronounced or louder way. So you really are feeling that Saturnian energy, the denial, the consequences, the need to be responsible, to set a boundary, a more serious, somber mood, energy to the day around this time. Now at 12:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo at 29 degrees. Now this is an anaretic degree. In astrology, planets that are at the final degree before they change zodiac signs are a little more tense. When they're at 29 degrees, they're exhausted, right? Like they've been traveling through the entire zodiac, they've reached the final sign, and it's like, OMG, can we just change signs already? And this is a solar eclipse. This is a solar eclipse that is conjunct or sitting next to the south node, which is a point of release. New moons are often described as new beginnings in astrology. And sure, that is true. However, new moons are also when the moon is at the darkest of its phase and cycle. And this is a moment that also is going to coincide with fated endings as well. We must release and clear out what is no longer working in order to create space for our new intentions and desires to flourish. So, this may feel like a more stressful ending of some sort. This can really kick up overthinking. It can also highlight the way you speak to yourself. It's going to bring attention to your habits, your patterns, structures that no longer serve you, ideas and limiting beliefs that you are ready to purge and release as well. Now, this eclipse series is taking place in Virgo and Pisces. Pisces is this zodiac, the final zodiac sign that reminds us that we are all interconnected. It is the final sign after traveling through all 12 signs and picking up wisdom through each piece of the zodiac. And it has this deep potential to access the collective unconscious, to just remember that we are all connected. And Virgo is very grounded in the mundane. And I think this is just a very important reminder anytime we are experiencing eclipses on this axis to think about how can you take small, dedicated daily action towards benefiting the collective, towards building and co creating and imagining, right? That's Pisces, the world that we deserve and that we know is possible and does exist in the future in another timeline. So, this is a powerful time to let go of any limiting beliefs, insecurities, and fears that are no longer serving you, that are keeping you stuck or stagnant, to not only benefit yourself, but to benefit the world around us as well. Now, around 2:30 p.m., the moon will enter Libra. Around 4 p.m., the moon in Libra will form an opposite with Neptune in Aries. 5 p.m., the moon in Libra forms a trine with Uranus in Gemini. And 5:30 p.m., the moon in Libra forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius. Now, this is going to bring us back to September 18th when Mercury in Libra formed an aspect with all three of those outer planets. So, like I said earlier, the moon is the closest celestial body to Earth. So now it is bringing that energy, those themes, topics that started to pop up and percolate on the 18th. It's bringing them up more intimately and intensely this evening. So around 4 p.m., when we have that harsh opposition with Neptune, this could be a moment of exhaustion. Let's not forget we are experiencing a new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. So, this could be a moment where you reach your limit. Maybe you have a good cry. Maybe you're feeling sensitive or sad. Let your feelings take over. Drink extra water. Focus on grounding exercises, something that brings you back into your body, and just know that it's a little easier to let your projections get the best of you around this time. We are not seeing the full picture for what it is. Avoid giving into your assumptions or even leading with, I just had a brain fart. Avoid giving into assumptions. Been leading with or making important decisions in your life if you can avoid it. Now, once the moon clears this opposition with Neptune and it interacts with Uranus and Pluto, this is going to promise newness. It's going to invite you to take a risk, to try something differently. It can prompt healing conversations. It can give you the courage to take a risk to speak your truth and share something that you haven't shared before. This is a moment of empowerment, healing, and moving in a new direction. Okay. Angie, hi, hand wave. If you were just tuning in, I've been recording for my Daily Horoscope podcast. Once a week, I record the intros, the astrology of the day. And I decided, why wouldn't I do that on YouTube if I'm doing that anyways here in my office by myself? Why not just go live? Because people are probably curious about what the heck is going on in the sky the week ahead, right? Um, so that's what I just did. I just recorded all 7 episodes, the astrology that you need to know about, to kind of give you a preview to help you navigate the week ahead. Um, but yeah, what else is going on? There's 2 of you here. Thank you for being here. If you drop your sun, moon, or rising, I would be happy to like chat about the eclipse. You found me on Spotify? Thank you for listening. That makes me so happy. I've been doing this podcast for over 2 years and I love it. It is like my ritual with the planets, and I journaled alongside the transits every day since like 2021, and it just deepened my relationship and helped me so much with understanding astrology, but also like how to navigate my life. And I just knew I could help others doing it. So, I decided to. Okay. Leo rising, Pisces sun, Aquarius moon. Okay. Let me think about this. Well, first of all, you just had an eclipse. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear. Seriously. Thank you. Um, okay. The eclipse was on your sun. OMG. That's huge. That's a BFD. And I'm a Leo rising too, as you probably know. So that was in our 8th house. So that could have brought up significant. Oh, Angie, you're just so sweet today. Oh, my husband's barging in. You want to come say hi? I'm live on YouTube.
No, I'm all good.
Okay.
I'm sweaty.
Oh, okay. Later. Oh, here he comes. You get a peek. You get a peek of the man behind the curtain.
What's up, people?
This guy.
We're live on YouTube. This is the ASMR bit.
Oh.
Follow your daily horoscope here at Stephanie Campos.
Yeah.
.com or something
That's
like
right.
that. I love you. Bye.
I love you. Bye. Okay. Angie, you're making my heart just like feel so warm. Thank you so much. That like really, really is so sweet. Lisa, watching from the beginning. Yay. Welcome. Okay. I really do need to get back out there with my child and my hus and have dinner. Okay, but what was I going to say? Angie, this eclipse on your sun, BFD, for you especially because the sun is your chart ruler. So this could have brought major shakeups regarding your identity, your sense of self, like maybe showing up more vulnerably, authentically, themes regarding trust and vulnerability, healing work, your shadow side, processing pain, alchemizing pain, reclaiming your power. And then also, like in a practical sense, I bet this eclipse brought up changes regarding, finances. So whether that is a new contract or paying off debt or a change at work or even how you give your time and resources to others. Like maybe you made a serious change around that or had to set a boundary or reached a limit or had a realization. But I hope that it was like empowering family and self-worth. I hope that you like moved through that energy and you're feeling excited about what comes next. And I just pulled a card for you and I got the Queen of Pentacles. She's a bad bitch. Um so and that is a little bit of she's a self-worth card. So that feels very resonant as well. Whoops. But yeah, Google the Queen of Pentacles if you want to learn more. Maybe there's some message in there that your spirit's kind of like pop out at you that you need to hear when you read about her and that card. Lonnie, a Gemini, and you're new to astrology. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. Okay, 6 people are here. Oh my gosh, it's getting popular. But I'm tired and I gotta go. So thank you all for being here. I think I'm gonna do this once a week because I record in my office once a week anyways. And I was like, why not just be on camera? I think the Leo in me is like, oh, I'm not camera ready, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm always camera ready, right? That's Leo's secret. Okay. Mwah. Sending love to all of you, and I'll see you next week. Okay. Bye.